Hello, beautiful people. My name is Alexandra, and I am a co-director of Bellydance Stories. And recently, I had the honor to do some mini interviews at the Orlando Bellydance Convention 2024. I enjoyed them so much, meeting new people and connecting with dancers from all over the US and the world. And I hope you enjoy these mini interviews as much as I did. Bellydance Stories is a multimedia production where we aim to highlight the stories of the everyday woman who has been empowered by the art of belly dance. And we hope to see you at other belly dance festivals throughout the US and the world. So if you're interested in having belly dance stories, feel free to reach out to us. Time to enjoy the interviews. Hi, Anastasia.
Hi.
We're here at Orlando Bellydance Convention. Could you introduce yourself, your name, and where you're based?
My name's Anastasia. I'm originally from Ukraine, but now I live in Tampa Bay.
I love it. I'm going to ask you a little bit about your belly dance story. What is your earliest belly dance memory?
So my first belly dance memory is actually when I saw my friend doing belly dance, when she invited me to watch the show. So I saw her performing on a stage with a nice pink veil. And that moment, like, she looked like a princess. And I was like, I want to do that too. And then eventually I started falling in love with it more and more and more.
Oh my God, how old were you?
I was, I think I was 15 or 16. Like
Cool.
really young, yeah.
Ah, beautiful. And now my second question is, what do you look forward to in your future belly dance self?
I'm looking to grow more as a teacher. I always look for more opportunities to learn because there's so much to learn with the belly dance, different folklore stuff, and just in general to learn. That's why I'm here too. But also to grow as a teacher and teach more in my community and possibly travel somewhere and teach as well and share the knowledge that I have.
Thank you. Oh, I love it. Thanks for sharing a little bit of your belly dance story.
Thank you.
Okay. My name is Rel. I am from Fairbanks, Alaska.
Oh my God, from Alaska. You performed so beautifully last night.
Thank
I
you.
just was like in shock.
Thank you so much.
So real and so authentic. It was a real performance.
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
What is your earliest belly dance memory?
My earliest belly dance memory is I was taking classes at the University of Alaska Fairbanks, and the teacher, her name was Susanna. So that was my first memory that I can think of, yeah.
How did you feel?
I felt amazing. I just empowered, just the grace, the fluidity, and yeah, it was beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Well, how old were you?
Ooh, I was 18 at the time.
Oh my
yes,
gosh.
so a little while ago.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yes.
And now my last question is, what do you look forward to in your future belly dance story?
I look forward to just growing and developing as a dancer and hopefully inspiring other dancers to be authentically themselves, like you gave that compliment to me, and just dancing from the heart. So I really love it. I'm grateful for any opportunity that I get to share my gift, so, and learn too, of course. Yes.
That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Rel. And I have Melody Movement Boutique here. I have Ella and Caspia.
Hi.
And I wanted to ask you guys a quick question. What is your belly dance story?
Together, our belly dance story started in Houston in 2016. We both attended a workshop and we were new to Houston. Everyone in Houston already knew each other in the belly dance community, but we both had just moved to town. And we were also both in the front row of the workshop the whole time. And we were in the video of the, when they film after the class, and we took a selfie that day, and we pretty much connected from there. And then we became really cute friends together, and then we became duet partners.
Right.
We won some duet competitions together over the years, and then we started becoming business partners with Melody Movement Boutique.
That's amazing. And I'm sure that when you did duets, you had to think about your costuming, and I've seen a few of the pictures of the duets. Tell us a little bit more about how that came about and what's that story, you know, that background story.
So at that part, I actually have a good connection with Chinese designer manufacturers. So when we start to think we are going to competing, and the first pop out is let's do that with Chinese company and our designer. So that gonna fits our performers, also fits personal style as well.
So our costume that we have matching, that's still to this day my most favorite costume that I've ever owned. It's so versatile. It's a bra belt, but it has a skirt option or a dress option. So if you want to do more folklore style, you have the dress. You want to do more oriental classical style, you have the full look there. And we have it matching. It has all the accessories, all the sparkles. It's like probably 10-piece costume, right?
Yeah, it comes with bra, belt, skirt, accessory arm, and then the leg, and then the necklace, and the folklore dress cover.
Yes.
I love that versatility, and I feel like you guys keep that in mind for the dancers with Melody Movement Boutique, because you have the experience of working together and competing and being performers in the industry, and now you have a business that you're running, and I think that's so beautiful. That's such a beautiful story.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
My name is Victoria Frasha, and I am from Connecticut.
What is your earliest belly dance memory?
Ooh, my earliest belly dance memory would probably be I ran across a DVD in like Fit TV or Yoga Journey, whatever that online catalog was, and I was just taken by a video clip of these two women doing this beautiful veil dance. And I bought the DVD on the spot.
Oh, you were hooked.
Because I was like, I need to learn how to do that. And then I realized after purchasing that DVD, like, hey, there's a whole, wealth of resources here in New York of like people I can actually see. And so it was that, that spark of like, oh, this is a thing that's available to me. I need to go check this out. And so probably the first belly dance class I ever went to in person in New York City is my earliest memory, and that was probably 2011 or 12.
How did you feel?
A little intimidated at first because I walked into this room, as a newbie, hadn't done a hip drop or anything, and there were just all these beautiful, ethereal women around me, and I was just taken, a little intimidated by the skill set, but also inspired by the artistry and the creativity that was like coming alive in the room as I was watching these women move.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And my second question is, what do you look forward to in your future belly dance story?
I look forward to growing creatively as an artist. I think one of the things that's really important to me is moving as long as you are able to. As long as your body is able to give you the gift of movement, your ankles still work, your knees still work, your heart is still pumping. I feel like you can move, you can dance. And so I plan to be doing this until my knees give out. And so that I hope that I can grow as an artist, but also inspire other dancers who may be starting out midlife who think, oh, I'm too old to do this. No, you're not. No, you're not. You are never too old. And I will be the one to like drill that into your head.
Thank you.
So really just, inspiring other women who think that they shouldn't or couldn't be doing this right now.
Thank you for saying that, because I know that there are many women out there who are thinking and they're questioning, am I too old? Am I not the right body type?
Right.
Am I not in the right culture? Or whatever the case may be, but you're a beautiful example of doing that.
Thank you. And I was one of those women. I questioned all of that as I was entering the belly dance world, and I loved it too much to let that stop me. And so that just became a thing of like, I'm not going to let that. And so I really hope that, even if one person can change their mind about that, that's a good thing.
When did you first start? How old were you?
So I formalized my belly dance training in 2017, and it was a birthday gift to myself. I turned 38 that year, and I said, I need to be moving. I missed dance. I had been out of the dance world for a couple of years at that point, and I really wanted to get back into it, and I still loved belly dance from, that first class that I took in 2012. I only took 4 classes and then had to stop, but that love and that fire for belly dance had already been ignited. And so when I found the MDA in Connecticut, I said, this is where my training is going to start. And so I was 38 years old when I walked into that first class. I am 45 today, and I just won the Ruby competition.
And you just won the Ruby competition.
Shockingly, because those judges had a tough job that night because everyone was phenomenal.
They really were quality dancers.
Everyone. So it was a real honor, and I was just humbled and blessed to be on that stage with everybody.
It was amazing to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for putting on that performance and for not giving up on yourself. Yeah.
And that's really what it was. And I came down here just wanting to have fun and connect with other dancers. So that was like the cherry on top of an already awesome experience.
Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you for allowing me and having me share it.
Okay, well, I'm Isa or Isabella or Isa Kalila, whichever one you want to pick. I own a studio near the Kennedy Space Center with my mother called Belly Dance and Beyond Studios, and we're a world dance studio. So we teach all types of dance, all throughout the Middle East, all throughout the Mediterranean, and it's a lot of fun. And I've been dancing for 8-9 years now, since I was 11. So I kind of grew up with it.
You are a second or third generation belly dancer.
Second.
I love it. Could you tell us who is one of your biggest inspirations or motivators in your life?
Oh, that's a hard one. So when I was learning, I didn't have any like specific mentor, I had my mother, and we kind of used dance to go through some really, really, really dark places. Mm-hmm. And we kind of used it as an outlet. And through that, I was taught by community. Mm-hmm. So I have kind of 3 main, I guess, like reasons why I dance.
I love it. Let's hear it.
The people, 3 main people, I guess. So one, her name's Dahlia, and she's a belly dancer from Jamaica. And so she kind of inspired me. I took her classes from when I was 11 all the way to now. I still take them. And then another one is Samara, and she taught me, like, I was in my first troupe with her. So she kind of guided me through the folkloric side of dance and everything, made me fall in love with that. And then, of course, my mother is an American cabaret and Greek belly dancer. So she was taught by Ansuya Brathor, and she just went all in. So, it's just really cool because I've just been I've learned basically like every style at this point.
Yeah,
I started.
It's been in your life for so long. Integrated in. It's not like you went and took a class one day. No, you were born into this.
In a way, yeah, I know.
Which is a fascinating part of your story.
Yeah.
Because it's something that's rare in the U.S. for us Westerners. It's rare to have been brought up with that or been born into, a family of dancers.
Yeah.
So, wow, that's very empowering.
Yeah.
Now tell us, I'm curious, and we're curious, I'm sure. Tell us a little bit more about your daily dance routine. Do you do anything that fuels you, that kindles your fire? What is a few things that you could share with us from your daily dance routine?
Okay, so other than dance, I am a full-time student, and I have a full-time job as well, and I teach. So I'm a little bit everywhere. So it's very important for me to stay grounded and also not, focus too much on one thing at once. I have to keep myself balanced. So a lot of the time, like, I implement dance in my daily life is I don't really have that much shame when I'm out places. So I'm like, if I'm in a line or something, I'll usually be shimmying, or I'll be doing Maya's down and up.
Dance is
or
your
undulation.
lifestyle.
It's just I kind of implement it into just daily tasks, daily life. You know, when I get up in the morning, I'm always like, I just kind of wiggle around the place, you know, with my body and kind of keep myself grounded. So I think it's just, yeah, exactly. You know, I can just...
As we speak.
Yeah, I know. I'll
have a conversation.
I'll still keep shimmying while we speak. But no, yeah, that's one of the biggest things too. And then in my classes, I teach every Thursday. And in my classes, I always try and implement the most important things I've seen as a dancer. So like things that we don't think about. So actually connecting. I come from a theater background too. I was a competitive theater person. So I did all that stuff too. Yeah, I know. Yeah. And so it was just things that you learn from that, like the connection and really getting like mentally and physically connected to what you're doing, because a lot of people are disconnected, but they don't have the elements of the dance. Like they just like learn like, you know, the technicalities of it, and they don't connect with what they're actually doing, and that's a whole different ball game when you do that. And it's very, 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 like, I want everybody to experience that. So
implementing in your daily life a little bit of movements, or what would be one last tip for someone who can't take a weekly belly dance class, or they can't really get to a class, whether it's their life or whatever busy or you know, obstacles they might have in their way? What's maybe one thing they can do?
I think overall, if I were to pick one thing, like that would be the biggest influence that they could do, is pay attention to your body, like be aware, like be present in, like actually be present in your body. So pay attention to how flexible you are, not how flexible you are in a split, but how can you move your body side to side comfortably? Are you fluid? Are you comfortable standing? Are you comfortable in yourself? You know, because a lot of people lose that. They're sitting in a chair or sitting in a desk all day. They think they have to sit in the chair. I sit on a yoga ball. You know, there's the little changes that you do in your daily life.
Small little habits.
That change the big picture.
Great. I have an interesting question for you. Okay. So you come from a theater background, and you were born into the belly dance world. So you started theater when you were 9, right? And you started belly dancing when you were 11.
Yep.
You are third generation dancer, second generation dancer. And you've been in the industry and you've been learning and working in it for that amount of time, really.
Yeah.
And you are in your 20s?
I am 19.
Girl, I mean,
I'm almost there.
I love it. Old soul.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. What do you think is missing in our industry that you might like to see more in the future, since you are a multimedia artist?
I think I'm going to do this in slices. So one slice would be just, we're getting into belly dance specifically. And I think what the majority of people lack, especially being in the Western world, so being in America, is we lack a lot of like traditions and customs that are very like prevalent in other countries, like other places. So like dance is very implemented in so many different other countries, but we've kind of lost that tradition. Like we used to have swing dancing.
Oh yeah,
that's kind of what our social thing was. We would get together and do that kind of thing, but that's not really much of a thing anymore. But I think what's important is, especially if you're somebody who comes from a different country, to make sure you're honoring what you are doing. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know what you're dancing to. You have to know that you probably can't dance to this if you're doing this style of dance. And I think people in America have kind of lost the culture of it a lot. a lot of people have, because they have such a westernized vision of belly dance. And I get so passionate about it because it's really important. It's where it started, it's where it came from. Like, you can't do something unless you have the knowledge behind it, and some people just don't want to go that extra mile, or they don't know to, because they started kind of lost, or just kind of in a, let's do like, I don't want to use Shakira as an example, but I'm going to use, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing, like, you know.
We have our pop icons that sometimes pop up and we get distracted by them.
Yeah.
But, you know,
but
it's a big world.
Yeah, I know.
And small at the same time.
Yeah, but just that idea. I did my first thesis in college. I did it on how Orientalism affected belly dance, and how the history of it when it came over to America, how it kind of, like, America tainted it in a way. So that I did like a whole 10-page thesis on it. That was my first paper I ever did. And
so you see that education is missing in the industry a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, what is that next phase? I think there were 3 parts?
Yeah, so it's like 3. So that one's definitely one of the big ones. The second one kind of goes with knowledge as well, but I think it's also important to understand what type of style that you're doing. So, you know, some people will go up there and say they're doing Egyptian style, but we'll have a lot of ballet influence. You know,
I see.
That's more Oriental. That's more of that. You see a lot in like Eastern European styles of belly dance, and so I think it's just really. I think it's that part is really important. So if you're going to a belly dance class, like for example at our studio, my mom's American cabaret and Greek. If we're going to do an American cabaret inspired class, we know, you know, that the what is it? The stance, the posture, everything is different. That's different. You know, you're more leaned back. You're using different types of muscles. But if you're in my class and I'm saying, okay, well, we're going to do a strict Egyptian combo or choreography or something, then I'm going to teach you the correct way
together.
Yes, and then proper fusion as well.
And proper fusion,
which is like not the muddied, like too much of everything in between. But like being purposeful of what kind of dances that you're fusing together.
So be more intentional with the education that you're trying to get from about this.
Yeah, because it can get, especially here, it can get very, very stacked, very on top of each other. So I feel like it's important to, you know, be comfortable. And because some people will ask like, oh, what are you dancing to? And you're like, well, it's like this and this and this and this, and you know, just because that gives you clarity as well as the audience clarity about what you're doing.
Yes.
And being purposeful about it. So that's second slice.
All right.
Lastly, I think, let's see, I think one of the biggest things is performance and connection. I think a lot of people go through and they think, they start, I think a good way of starting is, you know, doing those choreographies with, if you have a mentor and things like that, the mentor is giving you choreographies and you're going through them. But I think a lot of people get they're doing the choreography, but they're not doing it themselves.
The connection.
Yeah.
The connection within and for the audience as well. So being true to you.
Yes.
And also figuring how you fit into this choreography.
Figuring out what your individuality is in your dance. So, you know, that performance aspect, some people think like, oh, I just have to smile, and like, you do put on some sort of character, but that character is yourself. So it challenges you to actually find out, who am I? What do I want to show people? What do I want to bring to the audience? What do I want to make them feel? What do I want to make them, what kind of representation am I doing? What am I doing? Like, what am I doing? Not just, oh, I know this choreography, I'm going to go do this choreography step by step on stage and just do it. I want to feel it.
Great, I love it.
So those are the 3.
Thank you so much, Isa.
Yeah, of course.